Last time I told you the sacred was never inside the building, and I stand by that. But I want to be honest about something, because it would be easy to hear that video and walk away thinking this is a takedown. Religion is bad. Meditation is good. Case closed. But that's not what I think. Give me a few minutes of your time to explain. Something real got built inside the institutions. I won't be talking about the doctrine or the authority structure. It's something underneath those, which actually worked. And I want to give it its due, because it's a necessary component for a healthy society. For most of human history, if you wanted to organise generosity at scale, there was one system built to do it. It's not the state, and the market is not designed to do it. It's the institution, whether it's religious or secular. The religions have buildings in every town. It has trusted messengers already known to every family. It has the standing to ask people for something and be heard. Whatever else it was also the only machine most society had for turning individual compassion into collective action. I think it's the most important thing religion got right. A single person feeling compassion for a stranger they'll never meet is a real thing, but it's a small thing. Individuals alone don't build a hospital. They don't feed a village through a famine, and don't get the medicine to places without roads. What builds those things is a lot of small feelings in a lot of separate people, gathered up and pointed in the same direction on a schedule, reliably, year after year. That's not a spiritual achievement, that's an organisational one. But it's the thing that turned my quiet feeling about a coin on a footpath into training a guide dog. Almshouses, hospitals, orphanages, disaster relief networks that could move faster than governments because they didn't need an election to decide to act. For centuries, if you were sick, hungry, orphaned, or displaced, and no one else was coming, there was a reasonable chance somebody from a religious institution would show up. It's not because they'd calculate the optimal use of resources, because showing up was, quite literally, what the structure existed to happen, whether any individual inside it felt like it that day or not. That's the part I don't want to lose in all of this. Individual compassion is fragile. It has good days and bad days. Institutions, at their best, don't. They are the focal point when compassionate people act, wave after wave of different people who decide to mobilise themselves at different times. Remember the mechanism I described last time? The feeling that arises when you put another sentient being's welfare ahead of your own convenience. I said that feeling doesn't need a building. That's still true, but I want to be precise about what the building actually added, because it's not nothing. The building took that private feeling and gave it a place to go that was bigger than one person's reach. It said, don't just feel it, bring it here, on Sunday, with everyone else who felt it too, and we'll all turn it into something none of you could build alone. That's not the sacred, but it's a generally good use of what humans are like, and when you organise them well. It kept working, generation after generation, long after one person's motivation would have run out. That's the part individual spirituality has never quite matched. Not because individuals aren't capable of it, because staying power at scale needs infrastructure, not just intention. Here's the uncomfortable part, though, and I don't think it's talked about enough. What the institutions built isn't keeping up anymore. Food banks are turning people away. Crisis charities are running deficits. In the same year, demand hit record highs. The scaffolding I just spent 5 minutes admiring is stretched thin in a lot of places right now. Doing more with less and starting to run out of both. I don't think the answer is just give more to the same collection plate and hope. I think there's another way. Compassionate people can organise resources towards each other. One that doesn't run through Sunday offering at all, but through the exchanges we're already making with each other every single day. I'm not going to unpack that today, but hold on to it. We'll come back to it. There's more the institutions got right, and I want to name it quickly because it's real too. They gave people a shared vocabulary to hand down to their children, so a parent didn't have to invent an entire moral framework from nothing. They kept embodied practices alive: kneeling, fasting, singing, breaking bread together, the actual doing of the sacred, even while the doctrine around it calcified. They gave grief somewhere to go: funeral rites, mourning periods, language for loss, instead of leaving people to invent that alone in the dark. And they gave a lot of people the only unconditional room they ever had. You didn't have to earn your seat in a pew. None of that required the doctrine to be true. It only required the structure to exist, and enough people inside it, generally trying to do the right thing by each other. So here's what I actually think, and I want to say it plainly. An institution can do enormous good while still being a human structure, run by humans with human incentives. Those two facts don't cancel each other out. The hospital wing is real. The soup kitchen is real. The good that got mobilised is real, and it deserved credit, not dismissal. But the good was never proof that the institution owned the sacred. It was evidence that organised people are good at organising things. Those are different claims, and for most of history, the first one got quietly substituted for the second. The building did real work. I'm not here to tear it down for you. I'm here to help you take the parts that were actually load-bearing and leave the rest. So no, this isn't a takedown. It's an inventory. Keep what worked: the scaffolding, the transmission, the mobilised generosity, the room that didn't ask you to earn your seat. None of that needs the building permission to keep. You're allowed to take it with you. But there's an older story worth knowing about what happens when the thing that borrows the sacred's authority isn't a person kneeling in a pew, it's a person holding a throne. That one's next.